Hey everybody. Ooh, y'all must be at the beach. Riding around, getting ready. Hey Jay. It might just be me and it's me, you, and two other people. Hey Dana. All right. Moving a little slow. Hey Jackie. I'm slowly getting a 10. Everybody busy. It's such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful day. I'm creeping on up to 10. I'm like a slow engine. I'm getting there. Hey Tess, happy Sunday to you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I was at 9, then I dropped down to 7. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna hold you guys a long time because I am excited about what's going to take place in my life at 6 o'clock this evening for 21 days. So let me go ahead and just jump right into prayer because I don't want to talk. I don't want to do announcements and then have to go back and pray. So if you guys would just close your eyes right quick and pray with me. Heavenly Father, we come, oh God, thanking you, God, for this day. We thank you for life, health, and strength, oh God. We thank you for all that you are to us, oh God, at this appointed time. We thank you for who you were to us on yesterday and who you will be on tomorrow, oh God. We ask, oh God, that you would forgive us for our many sins, oh God, for anything that we've done outside of your will, oh God. We ask that you would forgive us, that you would cleanse us up, oh God, and that you would show us what we need to do right, oh God, and so that we may walk in your ways, oh God. Oh God, we come thanking you for all that you've done so far in this day, oh God. We ask that you would allow us to open our heart minds and receive whatever it is you have that will come from me, oh God, knowing that it's not from me, but through me, oh God. And I thank you for using me. I thank you for seeing me worthy, oh God, of having to say anything to your people, oh God. I ask, oh God, that you bless the families represented on this call, oh God. Bless those who will miss the call because I changed the time at the last minute, oh God. Bless those that have no desire, oh God. Just touch each and every household, oh God. And we just ask, oh God, that you would be with us in the midst of this time and then be with us on tonight as we sleep and then wake us up with anticipation on what you're going to do in and through our lives tomorrow and how we're going to show you how grateful we are for who you are in and through our lives, how we love and thank you for all this. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So let's get started. So one of the fruits of the Spirit talks about love. So I'm going to be jumping around. You'll never know which one I'm going to pick. Last week I talked about self-control. And so this week I am talking about love. And coming from I don't know if you would assume that you would know what perspective I'm going to come from. But that's what I'm going to be talking about. But before I talk about it, I need to do my disclaimer as usual. I like to tell you guys, I'm not a preacher, prophetess, or anything like that. I'm just somebody here excited about being used. With all that I've been through and all that I've done to myself and life has done to me and people have done to me, God has been more than kind in allowing me this platform. And so I'm thankful. One of the things y'all probably gonna get tired of me saying, but it's part of my testimony is I whined and complained to God so much about the things I felt like I didn't get. He said, then make sure you be that for the generation behind you. So I'm just here to give the people information that I felt like could have helped me make a few better decisions. Would I have still made some wrong decisions? Of course, that's life. The day you master perfection, you have no purpose on this earth. So with that being said, I wanted to do my announcements. Last week, I told you guys that I'm getting ready to do a master class. And so I'll be doing that master's class in April. And I'll be telling you all probably next week when you can start signing up for it, because me and my assistant are still formulating some things. So hope you guys are getting excited. I'm really excited because like, don't even sign up if you ain't ready for some grown folks conversation. I want to talk about some real woman issues, some things that you know, perhaps your mom didn't. It's ringing. Sorry about that. I just want to talk to you guys about everything I think could have helped me in some kind of way. God has given me those things to talk to you about in this 4-week masterclass that I'm formulating. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. There will be a cost, of course. It's just life. One thing I've definitely learned in my journey is people tend to make sure they show up when they've invested something into it. So that's just life. Another thing, I don't know what's going on with the Kelly Price concert, so I don't have any further announcements on that, unfortunately. I'm excited, like I said, because my church is getting ready to do a fast. We're getting ready to do a 21-day fast starting at 6 o'clock tonight. And I'm super excited. I know the Bible, once you get in the fast, it tells you not to talk about the fast. You're not supposed to be complaining and going around announcing it. But as far as announcing that we're about to do a fast, I think I'm okay in the guidelines with talking about that, because I'm excited. I am ready to be purged in every way. It's not about the losing weight. Like my pastor talked about this morning in church, it's really about you getting right so you could be a better service to God. So that's what I'm excited about, because I know that I've been slacking in some areas. Like even with this, I feel like I could do better. I could be more prepared. And so there's some things I need to lay off, some physical, mental sins that I need to lay to the side that I've picked up along the way. Some of it with Corona, some of it just even without Corona I probably would have picked up, but just some bad habits that I've picked up along the way since the last time I fasted. And I'm excited about being able to get rid of those things so I can be a better service to God. I hope you guys can relate to that. If you've never fasted, I would encourage you to experience it. I can't explain what it feels like, but it's an awesome, a truly cleansing experience. And so if I were you, I would look into it. If you want to join us with our fast, hit me up in my message. I will email you the information that our pastor formulated, and you can jump on board. If you can't start with us tonight, you can start tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. or whatever. So whatever works for you. But I would definitely encourage you to pray about it. My pastor definitely encourages you to consult your physician if you have medical issues or whatever. But I'm excited. I'm excited because some of the things that God has been showing me in some visions and dreams, I don't see me being able to do it within myself. So I know that I need to be purged of some things so that I can accomplish those exciting things that God has shown me in dreams and visions and things like that. So, again, I would encourage you to do a fast or jump in with us and do this fast with us. Y'all like my new hat? Let me see. I did my prayer. I did my disclaimer. I did my announcements. And what did y'all think about last week? I hope y'all really enjoyed last week. My numbers kind of went down. I didn't know what was going on with that. But don't forget to go on YouTube and subscribe. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to share. If what I'm saying minister to you, then please share with other people. I see my daughter Jackie and Jada are tagging a few people, and I thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Last week, I got a lot of inboxes from people, though, saying that they've experienced the same thing with the self-control, because self-control is real. It kind of self-control controls your whole life. If you don't have control within yourself, then why do you expect the world to be kind to you if you can't control yourself. And so that's kind of why I'm flowing into the word love for this week. We're going to talk about love. And of course, if y'all know me, I'm going to talk about self-love. Like, I can't express enough how I was in my middle 30s. I want to say I might have been going into my 40s when I really understood how to love myself, how to even, let me just be completely honest, how to like myself. How about that? I didn't even like myself. I was married with 2 children and struggling and saying I love you to them. So that was a good generational curse that I had broke. I was saying it to my children, but I wasn't saying it to myself. I couldn't look at myself. I didn't like myself. There was nothing about me I liked. So as much as I was giving it to other people, how healthy was that love? How healthy was that love that I was giving those girls that God gave me, or anybody, and for that matter, even the people at church, because my church is big for saying, you know, I love you and hugging and sharing and all that, but how much I probably was sincere, but how genuine was I as far as really feeling it myself, or was I doing it just to be doing something? Was I doing it just to be doing something? So are you just doing it just to be doing something? And if I don't say anything else tonight, I want y'all to make sure y'all go and watch this movie on Netflix called Dr. Foster. The title will throw you off because I bypassed it thinking Dr. Foster. I mean, and then the picture is just a lady. It's just a white lady. I mean, nothing about it makes you want to watch it. So I felt like they could have did a better job. They probably going to miss a lot of people because of the title. But let me tell y'all, because I'm in a phase in my life where everything I watch, even commercials, I'm always trying to pull some kind of message out of it. What does that mean? Or, you know, well, how can I use that to help somebody else's life? This movie, first of all, I watched it by myself at first. And I cried, and I'm glad I watched it by myself first, because my husband, he'd be like, oh my God, can't watch nothing without you crying. So we watched it together. Because it took us about 2 days. It's a series. So we watched it together the last 2 days. And just let me tell y'all need to watch this movie as parents, especially if you are a single parent trying to, I think y'all call it co-parenting, or if you're divorced, or if you're thinking about getting divorced or anything, or just a family, you need to watch it. I just think anybody with children need to watch it, because this couple was so hung up. And if you one of them people like, don't tell me. Well, I don't know what to tell you because I got to tell you because it's part of my prop. So this couple, although they said they loved their little boy, they were so caught up in hurting each other and doing things to each other that they really weren't truly focused on him. And that's why I'm going back to when I was saying a few minutes ago, when I would tell people I love them, but I didn't even know what love was because I didn't love myself. That's what made me think of that movie. Because this couple kept saying that they were doing everything was about the boy, about the son, but it really wasn't. And this lady, as successful as she was, because she was the doctor in the movie, as successful as she was, she went to great lengths to almost like pay her husband back, or make sure people knew that he had hurt her. And she had got caught so wrapped up into trying to hurt him because he hurt her, and trying to hurt the other girl because she hurt her, and all this hurt until the very reason why she claimed she was hurt, she wasn't even focusing. So at the end of the movie, I'm going to tell you, the little boy walks away from both of them. He like, this shit is crazy. He was like, I'm sick of both of y'all. And I'm telling y'all need to watch this movie. It is very eye-opening. And I'm telling you, like, I watched it just to be watching it. We just flipped on it. It just was, well, like I said, the first time I watched it just to be watching it. The second time I really watched it because I like to see people reactions when I've watched something they haven't watched. So I like watching stuff before my husband or whoever watches it, just because I know what's going to happen. So I'm just sitting there looking like, what you think finna happen next? Or looking at him to see, you know, what's his response to what I already know is about to happen or whatever. So anyway, it gave me a chance when I watched it the second time to really dive in and really just look at, oh my God, like this crap happens a lot. We get so caught up into trying to pay that person back that we lose focus. And y'all know I always use myself as the best illustration. For me, even though I watched it and I did most of the crying by myself, I still dropped a few tears at the end toward the end, because I told my husband, like, when the woman started sleeping with her husband after he already with the other woman. How many times have y'all did that? Because I can honestly say, I ain't did that. Can't do that. But how many times have we done that trying to pay them back? And what saddened me was, and probably the only reason I haven't done that or didn't do it, is because I saw my mom do it. Let's keep it real. So I saw my mom. Now, mind you, as a child, I didn't know what was going on. But as I got older, and now that I'm grown, I know that's what was going on. Now I see why there would be such conflict. So when I was a little girl, my dad I wouldn't eat. So my mom would call my dad and say, would you please come over here and sit down with this girl and eat, because she will not eat. So my dad would drive from Galveston, come have dinner with me. Well, of course, I would eat dinner and I would go on to my room, but he still be in the living room. Now, what y'all talking about? And then I eventually fall asleep, and then I wake up, and now it's hours later, they arguing. So what you arguing about? And then I see him coming from the bedroom. What you coming from the bedroom? I left you in the living room. Like, after I got through eating, you should have left. But that's the kind of foolishness that we allow. And I'm going to tell y'all, my mama may have instigated it, but what did she get in the end? Because the same thing on this movie, the woman wind up sleeping with him, but then she crawled up in the bed crying, rocking herself to sleep. And I said to myself, that's probably what my mama did. And then what did she do the next morning? Because she pissed off, because she done gave her body to my daddy again. He done went home to the other woman that he done married. And then you over here looking crazy, and then you take it out on me. That's what I got from that yesterday after watching it the second time. So, of course, I got a little emotional, but I didn't break down crying, because, like I said, my husband be like, oh, my God, can't watch nothing without you crying. But that's the message I got out of it yesterday when we got to that version of it and it was so heartbreaking, because I was like, my poor mom, she wasn't a victim, but I said poor as in she didn't love herself enough to value herself to see that wasn't going to make him come back. Like, you going to have sex with him, but then he going to get in his car and drive home to that woman. What in our right mind, and I say our as in women, although I've not been victim of that, and I think, like I said, the only reason I haven't is because of what I saw my mom go through, and I caught on at a premature adult life as to what was going on, because then I started paying attention to their arguments when I became a teenager, and the things they would be arguing about was stuff y'all ain't had no business arguing about. Y'all been divorced since I was 7 years old. What is y'all still bickering and going back and forth and I'm 13, 14, 15 years old at this point? Because y'all still intertangled with some stuff y'all shouldn't be intertangled with. And then I remember my mom, after I got grown saying, your daddy think he's slick, want to come over here. Well, you let him come in. Because she actually told me, and I can talk about all this now because all of my people deceased. So what y'all going to do? Call who? Who you going to call? Because my stepmom ain't had no children. My daddy, I am his child, and I am my mom's child, so I can talk about it freely. But I'm going to use their situation to help you all. Like, my mom actually told me after I was grown about how after I came to live with my dad, that my dad was still creeping over there to her house. Well, what that say about you? That's not nothing cute to be bragging about. Like, he still wanted me. The phone ain't freeze. I'm just pausing because I'm confused. And I definitely wasn't strong enough then to have any kind of conversation with my mom, not to mention she wasn't the type of woman you could have a conversation. So when she was saying it to me, she just was trying to further do what she did, which was always tear my daddy down, which was one of the things I talked to y'all about in one of my other series. They constantly, tore each other down. So she was, showing me what a dog he was. But what did that say about you? That you was opening the door, letting him in. So I'm saying all that. I'm sharing all that with you all to help you all make better decisions. My mom is gone. My dad is gone. They wouldn't come back here to fix, explain, none of that for nobody. I don't need an explanation because I'm good. I feel like God allows me to remember those things and share those things to help you all. Stop being foolish with yourselves. Get to a place where you love yourself enough that you say that I am better than that. Whatever that is, whatever your that is, whatever that is that you couldn't get on national TV and tell somebody and not be shamed, that's what your that is. Whatever that is. I'm not here to tell you what your that is. I don't know. It may be exactly what the explanation or the example I'm giving you with my parents. It may be just that. Like, y'all get in these situations, y'all let these men tell y'all they not gonna give y'all no child support unless y'all have sex with them. I didn't heard it all in my anger management classes. They try to blackmail y'all with, I'll give you an extra $100, go on, hook me up. You know how you make me feel. And of course, we as women, we deal with a lot of things emotionally. Men are like mechanics. They don't really I really could go really raunchy on here and tell y'all, like my mom used to say, a man will screw anything. That's what she used to say. And if y'all old enough, y'all know that to be true. A man will screw anything. You got to be within yourself to say, I'm better than that. I'm worth more than that. Whatever that is. Whatever it is he asking you to do that's out of what is right and decent. If you wouldn't want your child to catch you doing it. Oh, and on that movie, my husband was like, oh my goodness, like, so they doing that, and they son, he was a teenager at this part of the movie, and he was like, they not afraid he gonna just come out the room. So of course they had, he was playing the rock music, and the music was loud, and it made you believe he never came out. At the end of that movie, he cracked their face and told them, I know y'all still having sex, and he got his mama in trouble because she had a little boyfriend, and he told the little boyfriend, I don't know why you wasting your time fooling with my mama because she's still sleeping with my daddy. Like, all that stuff on that movie was real. Y'all need to watch that. And then, where did that leave? At the end of the movie, it left both of them the very thing they said they loved. And don't get me wrong. I'm sure they loved their son. But healthy love for yourself will help you make healthy decisions. That you can live with, that you can be old in a rocking chair and be okay with years from now. Like, we all gonna have some stuff that we gonna be embarrassed about on this journey. But only each of us have the power to limit those embarrassing moments. So if you don't want your children to be like, mama, you was so stupid. You was still sleeping with my daddy, and he was married to my stepmama the whole time. And that's why I could never like the lady, because you and him was still sleeping together. Because I know for a fact that's why I was conflicted with stuff with my dad and my stepmom, because my mom would talk about my stepmama like a dog. Like, when I first met my stepmama, I busted out crying. So my mama talked about this lady so bad that I was a little girl. I was 8 years old. I really thought she was a witch. The way my mom described her, she talked about this big booty lady. She would say her butt was so big it drugged the floor, and she with a good nasty. She would just say all kind of stuff. It's funny now because they deceased. But she was saying such crazy stuff until when I met the lady, I literally bust out crying. And that is the God to honest truth. My brother on my dad's side, from my other set of siblings, had been murdered. And we were at the funeral, and I hadn't seen my dad in, I think, like a year or two. So the first time I'm seeing him, we're walking in a funeral, and everybody thinks that I bust out crying because my brother's dead. I don't know him. I don't really know him. I'm not crying because I'm seeing my daddy. I'm crying because I'm scared of this lady that my mama didn't describe for years, and I think she a witch. Matter of fact, my mama called to take the W and switch it out with a B so much that all of that was all up in my mind. So when I walk in this funeral home, I bust out crying. And everybody, oh, lady, can the 8-9-year-old little girl stand up at 53 and tell y'all now? I wasn't crying because my brother had died. I didn't even really know him. I'm crying because I'm scared of this woman that my mama didn't talk about. But why did my mama talk about her like that? Why was my mama so hateful? Why, after all those years, she hadn't healed Or even when like I say, when I got to 13, 14, 15, why were her and my dad still arguing? And they wasn't arguing about money. It's because they was still doing stuff they ain't had no business doing. My mom should have had enough self-love to walk away and say, I deserve better than that. And so that's what I'm going to title my subject today is whatever your that is, you need to be better than that. Whatever that is for you, you need to be better than that. And then we wonder why our children promiscuous and they don't have, real high self-esteem about sex or who to give it to and all that kind of stuff because they see us doing it. All for what? Just for power, and you really don't have power. You don't have power at the end. Like, move on. I'm literally screaming at the TV like, lady, really? Like, you spent most of your time she did crazy stuff like setting up a camera, or she would rub up against him to make him get hard, and she would record it. I mean, she sent all kind of stuff to antagonize this other woman, to let the other woman know he still wanted her. He still wanted it, the sex. It wasn't you. It was the sex. She was like, I noticed you still got on hard when I walked past you. He a dog, he a man. But y'all need to watch that movie. Y'all need to watch that movie and see what it is that we do to ourselves when we don't have enough self-love. So I'm talking today, for those of you all who have jumped on at the last minute, I'm talking about the fruits of the Spirit. Today I'm talking about self-love. Last week I talked about self-control. I'm talking about love this week. I talked about self-control. So loving yourself, like having enough love for yourself to say, I am better than that, whatever that is. I think I saw in here earlier, my daughter said, oh, I'm telling it all. No, I'm really not, because I could go even deeper. I could really be very detailed in some stuff. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all one good detail, because I promise y'all, God got me saying all this stuff to help y'all stop being silly rabbits. So, I remember a time, I didn't know it didn't make sense to me as a child, but I remember a time where my dad, my mom was accusing my dad of bringing my stepmom in their house, which means my mom and dad was still married, right? So my mom and dad is still married, and my mom tells me this story where she knows for a fact that, talking about the movie, I know for a fact, she knows for a fact that my dad brought my mom into our house. So, again, that was conflict in me. Like, how do I love this lady. You telling me to go every weekend and be around this lady that my dad is showing love to, and he wants me to love and respect her. But you saying that this woman came into our home and slept in y'all bed and purposely, this is rated R. So if you ain't ready for the truth, if this is some foolishness you doing, I'm finna hurt your feelings. Supposedly my stepmom left her underwear under the cover, and of course my mom found it. Now, I don't know if it was true or not. I just know that's what my mama said. Years later, I told that story to my stepmom. I told her, we was at dinner. I never forget. Matter of fact, we was out of town, Washington, D.C. And I'm a really set y'all souls. The reason why you might say, well, why were y'all having that kind of conversation at dinner on vacation in Washington, D.C.? Because my husband had did some foul stuff, and I was sitting there pissed at the table. So to circle it all back around, that's how the conversation came, that men will still be men, do trifling stuff right up under your nose. You sitting right there, and you having a whole text message with a whole nother woman, and it take everything in me not to flip the table over. So then, while my stepmother was trying to lecture, I thought it would be a good time to remind her of a story my mom told me about how she came and got in my mom's bed with my dad. Now, of course, she was saved, how they say, filled with the Holy Spirit by then. So she was like, I'm not even remembering if she admitted to it or not. I doubt if she did. But she listened to the story. She was one thing I liked about her, and which made me think that it was true, she was very respectful about when I would confront her about things. And so I'm tending to lead toward the fact that I probably was telling the truth about that story, because she just was quiet. And she talked and she agreed with me, like, you know, you do stuff like that, that's trifling, is wrong, and then it makes you be insecure when you find yourself, once you get the man. Once you get the man, you gotta know some of that stuff. If he did it with you, he'll do it to you. If he did it with you, he'll do it to you in 99% of the cases. Every now and then you'll find one that, you know, has redeemed themselves and learned from their mistakes. But in most cases, they will. So I'm sitting there telling my stepmom at the dinner table about a time when my mom says, you came, got in her bed while her and my daddy was still married. So I'm going to roll it to the story with the lady, the Netflix story. Now, this is what I find baffling. So help me to understand, why did my mama, in all of her good mind, ever want to sleep with my daddy again? If he disrespected you that much and brought a woman in your house, brought her in your bed, allowed her to leave her underwear in your bed, what in the world conversation could he have had for you in that living room when I left him? Because remember, he came to the house because I wouldn't eat. He was supposed to be coming to help me eat because I would, and that was true. I wouldn't eat. One of the things my dad had created in my little world in those 7 years was, you know, we ate together. We ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, probably not lunch because I was in school by then, but definitely breakfast and dinner together. Those were very important times for my dad. So that was true that she called him, but she probably was glad to have that excuse. She probably was glad I wasn't eating, so she could call him over, so she could, and I don't remember, I mean, did my mama have on something kind of, you know, fitting or loose, or did she take her bra off, or was she walking around with no panties on? I don't know. Probably so, because that's the kind of foolishness that women do when they don't have love for themselves, and you steady trying to get a man back that's been showed you on all kind of levels he don't want you. But he'll take it if you give it to him. It's kind of like when you hand somebody a bottle of water. They didn't ask you for no water, but you say, would you like some? They say, oh, you know, thank you. So they go and drink it. That's what he did. I'm sure he was getting plenty of sex from my stepmama. But being a man, my mama handed it to him, so he took it. That's what happened on that movie. Because this woman darn near forced herself on him. And he took it. And then she turned around and found he left his tie. He took his tie off. She waited, and when things was already bad between him and the new wife, she mailed the tie to the woman with the date, showing her, because he had called the wife had called him and asked him what he was doing. What did he do? Lied, talking about he was at work. Child, let that be the reason. Anyway, I'm on here tonight right quick just to encourage you guys. Y'all got to have self-love. What am I talking about? Y'all probably like, oh my goodness. Somebody asked which movie. It's called Dr. Foster on Netflix. And like I said, the title nor the picture will make you not even want to not even want to look at it. It's nothing interesting when you just look at it. But when I tell you, you need to watch that movie, if you are, you have children, Anetta, you on the other side, so you just probably want to watch it for entertainment. But if you a young mother with children, married, you thinking about divorcing, whatever going on, you might want to watch it, because you need to learn what not to do. It's a whole bunch of what not to do up in there. I don't think they had 2 good things to do in the movie. But I learned a whole lot of what not to do. And for me, it just reminded me of all the friction. And then she had a friend across the street who kept trying to tell her, you know, the more you sleeping with your ex-husband, the more you're hurting your child. But you know, we had those friends that try to warn us and we don't listen. Y'all, some of y'all had those good friends that try to tell y'all that ain't what you want to do. Don't do that. Like I'm on here right now. I'm telling y'all, stop answering that call. Stop letting that man think that he can give you, you know, he can tell you, I'm going to hook you up with an extra 100. You ought to go on, let me come over there. You ought to go on, let me this. You ought to go on, do that. I'm here to tell you, you ought to go on and love yourself enough to stop making a fool out of yourself. Love yourself enough to say, nah, I'm good. I'm good. When you teach yourself self-love, I promise you, you're indirectly teaching it to your children. Who they'll learn to be is who they see you be. Who they learn to be is who they see you being. So if you're not being good to yourself, they won't know how to be good to themselves when the time comes. It's a series, Katrina, on Netflix called Dr. Foster. So yeah. One of the things I want to ask you guys to do for me, I want to ask you to, I need y'all to find 5 places in your house. If you're in an apartment and you say, Missy V, that's just impossible. I ain't got 5 places. Okay, do 3. But I need you all to find at least 3, possibly 5 places in your home that you could place a love note to yourself. But it has to be places that you don't typically go. So don't go stick it in the utensil drawer where you go get a fork at every day. No. I need you to put it in places that you wouldn't typically go. So, you know, like for me, I have closets, or I have a lot of places in my house that I don't go to on a daily basis. So I've learned this is something that God dropped in my spirit to do for myself. And that goes back to one of the things I talked to you all about, again, about putting people, places, and things in positions. That's one of those things that I've put in position to save me on a rainy day. When I'm not feeling my best, when life is not doing what it needs to do for me, when I can't seem to just get enough to push on, I have just strategically placed these notes in my house. So when I stumble across them, they just seem to happen at the perfect time when I need them. They're love notes to myself. I've got to get to a place. I've gotten to a place. I need you all to get to a place where you love yourself enough that you are treating yourself with the type of love you want from somebody else. I didn't learn those things, you guys. Nobody taught me that. I am here to disrupt the narrative. I'm here to help you all learn how to put healthy things in position. Write notes to yourself. Even in your car, like my glove compartment, I hardly ever go in my glove compartment or my the armrest for that matter. I hardly ever go in those 2 places. So there are times I put notes in those places. So when I find them, and I date them too. How about that? I write the note and then I put a date. Because then that helps me remember there was a day that I loved myself, that I felt good about myself. I may not, and then sometimes when I find it, I'm in a good spirit. So it just makes it go higher. It doesn't necessarily mean when I find the note, I'm in a bad place. However, that's what the intention was, and that has happened. But there's also been some awesome days where I'm feeling good. Like, I remember one time, I had just left a book release, and I had sold quite a few books. It was a good day. And I was looking in my glove compartment for something, and I found one of my notes. And it just made me feel even better about myself. It could be a day where life is great. Your children are cooperating, your husband or your man, whoever that told you they loved you. Life is great. The world is being kind to you. And then you find this note. It's like baking the perfect cake, and here's the perfect icing. Whatever it needs to be to you. But when God dropped it in my spirit, it was because I was learning how to put people, places, and things in position to save me. I'm going to try not to get emotional because, like, I didn't even get on here to share that with you all. But I hope y'all know, like, I'm talking from my heart, man. Like, a lot of stuff I share with y'all, I get on here, God just make me talk. I don't care nothing about you saying, oh my God, I can't believe she telling all her mom that. Baby, look here. If I don't know nothing else, Rhoda and George good. Rhoda and George probably tearing up heaven right now. They're so excited at who I am now. I know my mom and dad are so thrilled that I've broken so many freaking generational curses. I know that they're super excited that I'm able to talk about the things that they probably wanted to talk to me about, but they couldn't. I'm here to disrupt the narrative. I'm here to give you whatever it is somebody else didn't give you. If your grandma raised you, if your auntie raised you, if your mama, if your daddy, whoever. I'm here to give you all those things that I didn't get. I'm telling you, God said to me, Yvette, I hear you. I hear you, daughter. And so what I need you to do is be that for the generation behind you. I had an experience this week. I was minding my business, and I have a friend who's not on social media. So she texts me every now and then, you know, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Da 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 da. So she texts me and tells me that, okay, I got to wrap it up, 13 minutes. Okay, thanks, Jay. Okay, so right quick, let me tell y'all this story. I got to bless y'all with this testimony. So she tells me that, and I've been having these people prophesying to me for a while. She tells me that God is about to use me in a mighty way. And I told her thank you, and I said, I don't know what I said, but I sent her a picture of me when I was 8 years old, and I actually had posted the picture on my Facebook page back in January. But like I say, she doesn't do social media, so sometimes when I post significant things, I have to turn around and text it to her. So she sent me back that picture, and she said, the little girl says she loves you. I want y'all to know, I cried like I never cried before because I never really ever could look at that picture. I could never really look at that picture. I'll glance at it, but I could never look at it. On that day, I got on my knees in my living room. I moved my coffee table out the way, and I just got on my knees. I put that picture in front of me, and I made myself look at that little girl. I listened to that little girl. I ain't even mean to do all this. Okay. So, if you don't want your children to be jacked up like me, then do right, man. Watch that movie. See how we tearing our children up. Like, don't be so busy in trying to get that man back or get that woman back for taking your man that you destroyed your children. Your children will become me. Your children will become me. And then if you ain't living to fix that mess, you got to hope God sends somebody like me to talk to them. That's why I'm so freaking good at teaching anger management, domestic violence, parenting classes. Because I can talk from both angles. I can talk about what it did to me, and then I can talk about what I did to my children. Disrupt the narrative. You all are not on here just to see me cry, just to see me break down. I am speaking to you through the Father. If this message not for you, he letting you listen so you can go save somebody in your family. If you know a child is hurting, allow that child to talk to you. Be that avenue for that child. Don't sit there. It's so many freaking people in my family saw what was going on and did nothing. And then now they all mad saying, I don't have a right to talk about my mama like that. I don't have a right to write a book. Man, Anyway, I'm good. I'm about to get on this prayer call because y'all know why I'm crying? Because I'm telling y'all, this fast, this 21-day fast, is supposed to be everything for me. I pray you guys have an absolutely amazing week. I love you. I love all 28 of you all. I love all of you all that will listen to the replay. I am the better for you all being here today and allowing me to speak to you. I will see you next Sunday at 6 o'clock. Well, I guess I can't do... No, we'll be doing 6 a.m. After today. So yeah, I'll be on here at 6 o'clock next Sunday for Soul Searching Sunday. I love you guys from all the healthy places in my heart. Don't forget to go look on my YouTube page. Please forward this message if it's been a blessing to you all in any way whatsoever. Talk to y'all later. Gotta go.